Hello, my name is Julie and this is KS Mom Crochets, and today is Crochet Podcast number 101. So I do have a couple finished objects to share with you all. Not a whole lot, but I did finish a few things this week. I also have some progress done on some whips that I'd like to share, and then at the end of the video I did have a request from a couple people, and I want to share some other things with you all as well. So if you're interested in seeing a parade of doilies, then stay tuned till the end. So anyway, my first finished object is a doll dress. I got to looking at my doll dress patterns. Sometimes I do that. I have everything in binders. I did share that in my room tour last podcast. How I have a basket full of binders that have vintage patterns and different magazines and all that stuff together. And sometimes I just pull them out and look through them. And so I decided that I wanted to make a doll dress. And I went with this one, which is a Fibre Craft 13-inch doll or pillow doll dress. And I thought that these two dresses were the same, but actually this dress does not have this bottom ruffle here. So I actually made the pillow doll form because it is on a 14-inch doll. This pattern was copyrighted in 1989, and it's just a little pamphlet, that folds open and has your pattern in it. I have shared these on my channel numerous times, and I'm pretty sure this one I was gifted because I did have several people, 3 or 4 people, that have gifted me a lot of these patterns over the years that I've been on YouTube, and I just love every single one of them. And I know that there's a ton of these out there, and one of these days maybe I'll collect them all, who knows. So yeah, here is my Cinderella, or my version of a Cinderella dress, and I think that it turned out so pretty. I love it so much. In the pattern, they have you use 2 different hook sizes, which I don't think I've done that before in one of these patterns. The top part of the dress, they wanted you to use a 4, and then for the skirt part, you went up to a 5mm hook, and it worked out great. I think that I will do that from now on, even if a pattern doesn't tell me, because it makes your dress or your skirt part a little bit more flowy and not so tight. And I really like that. Now this doll is new. I just got her. I tried really hard not to buy another doll, but they had her on sale on Amazon, and this is like a $40 doll. Or $40 or $50 doll, and I got her for $25 on sale. And this is what the box looks like. It's called Alexander Girls with a Z, and they have all different ones. And this one right here, in the pictures that are on Amazon, maybe not so much right now, but on the pictures on Amazon, it looked just like my daughter, Caitlin, when she was little. And I was like, I've got to get that because it has the brown eyes and just the hair and stuff. But when she came, her hair was in rubber bands and it left these creases. So I'm going to try to wash her hair to get those creases out and see how that goes, because that just does not look good at all. But anyway, back to the doll dress. I just wanted to share about the doll because I do have one that looks a lot like this, but she's got blue eyes like my daughter Shaylee. So yeah, anyway, this dress was so much fun to make. I used Big Twist in the color Plum for this color right here, and then I used I Love This Yarn Gray Mist for the underskirt here. The pattern has sleeves, and I didn't do that. And also those flowers right there on the dress are crocheted, and I didn't want to do that either. So I had purchased these, I don't know, these little flowers. They're not buttons because you can't sew them on. They're like flat on the back. And I just used those, and I added more than what it said because the flowers that you crochet were supposed to just go in these divots. But I thought that it looked pretty with some in the middle of the shells or the scallop there. And I also put a few around her waistline. This part right here was also not part of the dress, but I think that it gives dresses more definition when you separate the bodice part from the skirt. Usually when you're starting the skirt, you put a lot of stitches into one stitch to build that width, and you have a little bit of gapping there. So I like to cover that up with a surface crochet, and all I did was surface crochet, single crochet chain one all the way around, and then I brought it back around. I started with a chain and then went back down with single crochets and of 20, and then I started surface crocheting all the way around, and then I did another chain, single crocheted back down it, and made these ties for the back. And that is just a simple way to make a tie. I also put this button, I don't know if that's showing up, but it's like a pearl button to close the back. I was going to put another one, but I decided against it because I only had a couple of those buttons, and I don't want to, I want to be able to use them for something else. So I did do the trim around the neck, and then I really liked the cap sleeves, or the way that the dress looked without attaching sleeves. So this is how the sleeves worked or looked, just working them up from the pattern, and I just really like that. I don't know if I've ever done, I'm trying to look, I've done a little bit of a sleeve, like she has like a half sleeve, but I don't know if I've ever done a doll dress with a long sleeve. I prefer like the sleeveless type dress. I feel like that it makes it look a little bit more updated, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I just don't like doing sleeves. I don't know. Because I have my own shirt that's sitting down here that still does not have sleeves on it. So there's that. Confession time. The ruffles here were made with treble crochets or triple crochet, whatever you want to call it. And I don't think in the pattern that, even though it looks in the picture like these are two different colors, I don't think that they actually are. I think that the whole bottom of the dress is supposed to be white, and then this top part was supposed to just be cream. And then you use the cream to do this edging here around the ruffle. And I had this idea in my head of like flipping the colors, and I think that it turned out really pretty. And y'all, these dresses are huge. Like this is like 300 stitches all the way around for this, for these bottom ruffles here. So, I mean, it's a lot of stitches. Also had these little, these are actually buttons, and I strung them, I'm trying to fix them. I strung them on a piece of crochet thread and just tied it around her neck to make her look like she had a pearl necklace. I just really love pearls a lot. I think that they are elegant and they are beautiful, and I wanted her to have a little pearl necklace because she does have one in the picture. She also has that little crown, but I don't know how to do that. So I'm not really happy with the way that that looks, but I'm going to go with it until I can get some beads. I feel like I have some somewhere, but I don't know what I've done with them. So yeah. So here is my Cinderella dress. I hope you enjoy seeing her. I think that she turned out so beautiful. I just love these dresses. They're just so much fun to make. I really, really enjoy it. I really enjoy crocheting them a lot. And yeah, like I'm just gonna have a whole wall of nothing but dolls and doll dresses. That's what's gonna end up happening. But hey, it's okay, right? You gotta fuel your passion, and my passion this is definitely one of my passions. So yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoy seeing her. And yeah, this is my first finished object. I also wanted to share that this is the little, she had this little purse with her, which I think would be so cool to recreate something similar to this in crochet. I don't know how yet, but I was thinking about that. And then she had on a pair of jeans, this little top here, and then this little cardigan, which is so adorable. I really like this. So that was the clothes that she came with, but I really do love that little purse. I think that next time, I don't know if I'll do it for her, but I would like to try to recreate, since it's just like essentially two little squares or two flat panels. I think that would be easy to recreate in crochet. A couple podcasts ago, I shared a blanket that I was making. I had some Red Heart stripes yarn in the color Derby stripes, and I had about 6 skeins of that yarn. And I started that blanket, and I was really excited about it at the time because that's what happens, right? And then I just kind of left it. And one of my goals for this year is to not accumulate whips. Like, I just don't want to do that because I already have at least 3 or 4 blankets that I need to finish from years past. So I definitely do not want more blankets as sleeping whips. And I knew that that's what was going to end up happening with this blanket. Because I have so many other colors that I enjoy would have enjoyed using more. And I'm not really in blanket making mode right now. So I knew that whenever that did come back around, that I probably wasn't going to go back to that one. I would end up starting a new one. So I was like, what can I do with this blanket? Because I had about 1.5 skeins in it. So it wasn't like I had put like a ton of time into it. But I also wanted to use that yarn, or at least some of it, up. I really didn't want to frog what progress that I had made. So I was like, I'm just going to turn it into a pillow. I have this chair right here, which is probably going to be temporary. I would like to eventually bring my recliner back in here. One day I would like to do that when I can get another one for the living room. But this chair has, in the seat part of it, has like a rip in it. And so I thought, I'll just make a pillow and put it in this chair and it'll look better. So this is what I came up with. And it would look so much better if like this pillow form was black, or I had covered it in fabric, but y'all, I didn't want to do that. So I just put the white fabric, or the white pillow form, under this, and like it was almost perfect. I did add some buttons so that I can take this off if I decide to change it or make a different one. But this stitch pattern comes out of this pamphlet right here. Absolutely gorgeous Sentimental Shells by Terry Kimbrough, and it is Leisure Arts. And it is called the Lacy Shells in here. And so I had a long strip and I folded it in half. So like here is the, the middle of that strip. And then I single crocheted the edges together all the way around the 3 sides. And then I came back around and started doing a border. As you can tell, this is the end of that panel, and I did leave about 6 stitches on the top here and then on the bottom so that I could have this little flap for the button. And I think that worked out really, really well. It's not the prettiest pillow in the world, but hey, it's functional. And I used up some of this yarn, and that is what matters, right? So this is what the border looks like, and this border I have done before on a blanket. I can't remember. I think it was a baby blanket a long time ago, but it comes out of this Around the Corner Crochet Borders by Eddie Aikman, and there is a couple different books for borders by this person, and I have 2 of them, but this one right here I did number 121, which looks like that right there. And it was really simple to do. I did have to fudge it a little bit. I did mess up a couple times doing it too, but you know what? It's just a pillow that I'm going to sit on, so it doesn't matter. I thought that was a good way to use up this yarn, and I did use up almost 2 skeins of this yarn. So I still have 4 left that I will eventually do something with, and then this little scrap ball here. So that was what I had left out of the 2 skeins. And I think it was another color change, and I didn't think I had enough to add more of this border since these shells are so big. Well, hopefully you enjoyed seeing what that I turned my blanket into, because I just didn't want that to just sit there, you know, and that's what would have ended up happening. So sometimes if you don't want to frog your work or toss it or whatever, you can just turn it into something else. And that's what that I did, and I'm really happy with how that it turned out, and it has a purpose. So that is all of my finished objects. I do have some progress on 2 different projects that I would like to share with you all. The first one is a doily that I started a couple weeks ago, and I haven't finished it yet, but I have worked on it a little bit since I last showed you, and this is definitely something that I will continue working on. So this is called the Ultimate Doily book, and it is by American School of Needlework, and I am doing the praline pinwheel, which is this one right here. And I was on row 8 or 9, and now I am on row 18. So I did a little bit of work, and you can definitely see that pinwheel forming. On this, I'm using Curio number 3 thread from crochet.com and the color Hawk, and then I'm using a 3.25 millimeter hook. So here's what I've got done so far on this doily. As you can tell, I'm almost done with the pinwheel, and then I will just, as you decrease for the top of the pinwheel, this part right here gets wider until it eventually goes all the way around. And that is just basically like the granny stitch. So this one is a lot of fun to work on. I just haven't pulled it out because I started working on that doll dress, and then I was like, oh, I got to do something with this blanket. And yeah, so hopefully I can get some work on this week, or even get it finished. That would be nice. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I think that it's going to look really pretty on my table whenever I finish it. And then the last thing that I have worked on is my table runner, and I've put quite a bit of work into this. I'm doing a couple rows every day. I'm 2 days behind, so I need to add some rows into this. But I'm using it was a YouTube tutorial. It is in Spanish, or I don't know, some kind of different language, not English, but the tutorial is still very easy to follow because it's very simple pattern. And I am using a 3.75 millimeter hook, and I'm using a yarn called Drops Love You 9, number 102, and it is like a sport weight yarn. So, and it's 100% cotton. So I think I was like right here or something, and I have added this. So I'm on my 3rd skein. I think I just put in, I have done 3 skeins of that yarn, and I'm on my 4th. I think that's right. And then I think that I need 5, because this is about 3/4 of the way across my table. And I want it to drape down a little bit, and then I also want to put a border on this. So it's coming along. Like, it's really growing. I mean, you know, even if I don't work on it as much as, because I mean, I could probably finish this if I just sit down and worked on this consistently, but I'm really enjoying just doing a couple rows at a time, and you know, a little bit of progress every day goes a long way in the long run. So yeah, so that's it folded in half, and I think I have about 80 rows or something like that, and I need to, I think by my math, I need 120. So I'm getting there. It's just you know, slow go. So I had a couple people ask me some questions about doilies that I have made. They wanted to see the ones behind me up close. They also asked, you know, just different questions, and I thought that I would just make, you know, this little segment to share and answer those questions. So Michelle, Crafty Farm Gal, she asked me about, you know, how did I put them on the ring, and that she was thinking about doing that because she was decorating her craft room. And then I had someone else named Angel ask me to see the ones that was on the wall behind me, so that's why the wall looks pretty bare right now. And then Janda asked me, why did I love making them so much, and how did I even get started making them? And then Alana asked, what was the hardest one that I have ever made, or the largest or the hardest one that I have ever made, and if I could show it. So I'm going to address the questions first, and then I will start showing you the different doilies that I have on me to share, because I have gifted a lot of them. I've gave to different family members and stuff like that over the years, so I don't have all of them, but I do have quite a few that I've made. So I love making these doilies, and before I answer that, I have to address how I say doily. So I had someone say, hey, you know, I pronounce doily with an I. And I was like, wait a minute, I do too, right? But maybe sometimes when I get to talking, because I am, you know, from the South or from Kentucky, I lose, you know, letters as I speak. And then I was like, oh, okay, I got to think about this, because it was really interesting to me, because, you know, I mean, somebody, who is it? I don't have an accent, but you have, but everybody else does. I can't remember who says that, but somebody said that on a video one time, and I just thought that was so funny. But anyway, I just find that so interesting, how that we pronounce all over the world, even just all over the United States, we will pronounce things differently. And, you know, like I said, I have a Southern accent, and the more that I talk, the more that it comes out, if that makes sense. And so even at work, you know, because I don't live where I'm from originally, I live in a different part of Kentucky than where I grew up. And so even at work, people will say things to me like, oh, you said that so funny, or whatever, you know. So I figured out why that I say doily the way that I do instead of doily. And it's because I say oil instead of oil. So, you know, you need to go get some oil for your car, because I leave out the I in oil a lot of times. And my girls, they they laugh at me so much when I say stuff like that. So I do try to pronounce things correctly, especially on videos, so that you all know what I'm saying, which this person was just, it was nothing mean or anything like that. It was really funny, and it was a funny comment, and, they were like, just keep being you, whatever. But it really got me thinking, and I just had to tell you all about that, that's why that I say it that way. So, yeah. But anyway, the reason that I love making them so much is because they're so fun. I mean, they really are. You are doing different stitches on most of the rows. You're creating this design. And a lot of them are just, some of them I do are simple, but then there's some that are just so beautiful when you get done, and it's like, wow, I just sit there and made that, and a lot of them work up quickly, and some of them don't, like the one that I am currently making, the praline doily. I forgot the exact name already, but that one with the pinwheel, that's a little bit more time consuming because it is a bigger one, but they're just fun. They keep my interest. And usually I'm a very monotonous person. Like, I really love doing blankets that are like the same stitch over and over and over again. Something that I don't have to concentrate on. With the doilies, I do have to concentrate on them, but it doesn't bother me. Like, I just enjoy making them. I don't know. I just love them. I found a passion for them. I feel like that's like an art all in itself, like separate from crochet. I feel like thread is just an art all on its own. And I feel like that even though there are a lot of people that still do it, I feel like that it's a part of crochet that could easily be forgotten. A lot of people are gravitating toward thick yarn, like the big plush yarn and the jumbo size yarn, to make things. And I feel like I'm keeping that alive by making these and buying these old pattern books that people don't want anymore, or whatever, wherever they come from, estate sales or whatever. I feel like that I'm breathing new life into these patterns, and somebody at one point loved that pattern, especially like I was saying in that doily, look inside the doily books that I did. I was saying that I love seeing handwritten notes, because I do, and it makes me think about that person and what were they doing or thinking about when they were making that. Who were they making it for? Or were they just doing it for fun? It just makes me think about them, even if I didn't know them. And it also, like, I don't know, it makes me feel like that I am bringing something back to life that they loved so much to do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that is one of the big reasons that I love it so much. I love the older style patterns for that reason too, not just thread projects. Even though technically I'm doing it different and I'm using a thicker thread than what maybe they did. I got started by my mom passed away when I was 18 months old, in case you all didn't know that, or you're new here. And I don't have any contact with her family. And I got into contact with one of my aunts from her side of the family, like her sister. And, that didn't last very long. We only talked for a little while. Yeah, I guess that's all I'll say about that. But she made those, and that's kind of how I got into it. We were talking about how that, I crocheted and she crocheted, and because I knew my grandma did, because I have a blanket that she made me, and I have different things that she made when I was young. But, she passed away, and I haven't seen or had any contact with this part of my family. I've been making doilies for about 4 years now, and I was like 10 the last time that I saw them. So anyway, I digress. she kind of inspired that. I don't know. It just, that's something that she said that she enjoyed making. And then I just started, researching them and trying out free patterns online. And then it just went down a rabbit hole, because that's kind of how I am. Like, I find something that interests me, and then I like hyperfixate on it for a very long time, and I want all the things, and I try to find the best prices, and but it is something that has stuck with me. I may go a little while without making them, but then they always go back to them, because like I said, I just enjoy them so much. So yeah, that is the answer to that question. And then the next one was the largest or hardest pattern. And I feel like some of them might be hard, but it's just because maybe I don't know the stitches that they're doing, and I have to like look it up. Like, I'd never done a picot stitch before until I started making them, and I don't know. I'll show you some more as I show the ones that I have with me. But the one that popped into my head was called the Inspirational Doily. It was from Annie's digital pattern site, which was ePattern Central. And I did mention in that Doily book video that they were shutting down their site. Now, I'm not sure when, because you can still buy patterns right now from that site. But in the email that I received, it said that they would be stopping selling patterns soon. I just can't remember, because I accidentally deleted that email and I can't find it. So, like I said, they are still selling patterns now for like $1. Every pattern on their site is $1. But anyway, that one is on there. But I'm not going to link it, because I don't know how long that site's going to be active. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Anyway, I made it for my mother-in-law, and it took me a really long time to make it. This thing came out really big. It was really pretty. Like, I really loved how that it turned out, but I remember it took me a long time, like just actively working on just that one, because it had so many rows, and I can't remember exactly how many that I had, but I know that it came out really good sized. I also made another one that popped into my mind after I had commented back to her, and it was a Christmas one. And I don't have that one. I have it. I have it, but it's packed away with all my Christmas stuff, and I really just didn't want to dig it out. So I will pop in a picture of that one as well, and I'm pretty sure that that one was on that website too, but I know that it was in a magazine too, and I can't remember what magazine. And it came out really pretty, but it did take a long time to make that one too. But I do feel like that the Inspirational Doily was the longest to do. As far as hard, like I said, I don't feel like that any of them are hard. You just take it row by row, just like you would with anything else. And if you get frustrated with it, you sit it down and you leave it there for a while, and then you go back to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. And so that's the questions that I had that I wanted to answer. And then, like I said, I had people ask me to share the ones that I have made, maybe explain a little bit how that I do it, because they're interested. And so I like to talk about this stuff. And if you all have questions for me, I mean, that's fun. That gives me something else to add to a video or to make a video about. So I'm all for it, you know. So some of these may have stuff on them, hopefully not, but I didn't like inspect them. But a lot of these that I'm going to show you right now are the ones that are on my tables, like I have displayed in my house. And so this is one, and this one is in my living room. I have several in my living room. So I really liked how this one turned out. Now, I can't remember where that I got these from, what pattern they are. A lot of these I have shared on my YouTube channel over the course of the years. You know, I have like 101 podcast videos now, so I'm not really sure which ones that I shared them in, but I do know that I have shared these over the years. a lot of them came out of the books that I shared in my videos. There may be a few that came from digital patterns, but like I said, a lot of them came from books or pamphlets. Now this is one that I just recently made, and I think it came out of the 50 Fabulous Pineapple Motifs books that I have. And that is that one. And I did find a spot for this, so I am not going to put it on a ring. So I really love how that one turned out. I was making that one for my coffee table in the living room, and it was too small. So, and then here's another one that sits on my TV stand, and it is a pinwheel. I think this was the first pinwheel that I ever did, but I can't remember exactly. But I really love how that it turned out. So there's that one. And then this one, and a lot of these I do starch. I get like $1, I think it's $1 a can, or maybe it's $2. I can't remember. At the Dollar General, if you're in the States, it's just a spray can of starch, and I starch them out, and then I use a steam from an iron to steam them out too. And you can actually iron these too. It does kind of press your stitches down a little bit, and you have to be using, or like it has to be a cotton. Like you do not ever want to do that on anything acrylic. It definitely has to be to iron. It definitely has to be cotton, or it will melt. I'm not sure about starch though. You could use starch on acrylic, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that, but I always make them out of cotton. So there is that one. So I had to get a different piece of foam board because this one was too big. But this is the one that I currently have on my coffee table, and I'm ready to change it out. It's just, I've used it for quite a few years, and I just want a different one there. But as you can tell, it's really big. But it was a lot of fun to make. It has like a texture there in the middle. And yeah, I really like that one a lot. That one's kind of hard to hold up because of the way that it's made. I did find my Burka Shells doily, which I did mention in a video. And this one was on my kitchen table, and I couldn't find it. And it was right in front of my face, like the whole time. Like I put it in my bedroom, and it was somewhere that I look every day. And somehow I just got so used to seeing it there that I just forgot that it was there. Isn't that crazy how that works? But anyway, I did find it, and here it is. And it is very big. Like I said, I made the biggest one because there was 2 different versions. I think the first one you stop like here or something. I can't remember. But yeah, I really love this one a lot. And like I said, it's huge. I'm pretty sure the inspirational doily was probably around this size. It may have been a little bit bigger. But this one was very easy to make because it just has like shells. You know, it's mostly double crochet. And then the rest of them that I have are on rings. So a lot of these are behind me, and a lot of them were just me having fun. So just trying different colors and stuff like that. This one is not even thread. This was a sock yarn that I made a doily out of. Just because I wanted a variegated one. In the number 3 thread, it's very hard to find variegated. They don't sell it like they do in number 10 or number 5 thread. So, yeah, I tried it with some sock yarn. And that one was fun to make. And as you can tell, I just put single crochets all the way around. And I will have a video linked in the description. It's like a 3-minute video or something that shows you how to attach to a ring. And it is the best like reference that I could find online without having to do a tutorial myself. And I really didn't want to do that, just to be honest. But yeah. I just don't have the right equipment for tutorials. It's very difficult to do them. But yeah, I will have that video linked below, but I will show you how I pin them and stuff. But I just go around with single crochets, and I, will grab a stitch and single crochet around it, single crochet in between, depending on how it's made. Okay, so there's that one. And then I made a gold one, and this one is more Christmassy looking to me, but I keep it up here all the time because I was gifted this yarn. And it's just so fun. I mean, it's so pretty. So there's that one. That one was a lot of fun to make too. I think all of them were fun. And then this one right here is from like a baker's cotton that I have. I think it was from Joann's, but they don't sell it anymore. But it was a lot of fun too. And this one I think came out of the 101 Doily book. A lot of these smaller ones I think came out of that one. Like even this one I think came out of that one. And it was a lot of fun to make too. And then here's another tiny one. And like I said, all of these that I'm showing right now are hanging on the wall behind me. You just may not be able to see them all in the videos. So that one was a lot of fun too. And this one right here, I know for sure that it came out of the 101 Doily book. And it had this, I can't even remember what it's called, like a quadruple treble stitch or something like that. But you had to wrap the yarn around your hook like 8 times to make that stitch. But the effect of it was so pretty. Like, I love the way that this one came out. And it was super easy to do once I got the hang of that stitch. And then here is another big one. And this was the first, I'm pretty sure this was the first one that I ever put on a ring, I think. And this is what it looks like. And this came out of a magazine. I do remember that. And as you can tell, this ring is not big enough. I don't know if you can see that. See how it's floppy? And like this one right here, it doesn't do that. It's very tight on there, and that's how you want it to be. You want to really, like, not stretch it too much, but you want it to be stretched out to where that it doesn't, sag in the middle, or like do that. But it still works fine. It just looks better when it's tighter on a ring. But I really love how this one came out. This was the first one that I had ever color changed to, and I don't think that I've done that since. I think this is the only one, actually, I should say, that I actually changed colors on. And so I really love how that one came out. It used to be in my bedroom, but I ended up putting a different one in there, and I keep it up here. And then this one right here came out of a book as well, and it came out of that thread pot holder book that I shared. It has that beautiful rose in the middle, and I just love it so much. I love how, I think this is where this one came out of. I'm about positive, but I could be wrong. It's been a while, but I really love this one, and this one hangs back here behind me as well. And then this is the one that I have in my bedroom. And I can't remember. I think this one might be in that Fabulous Pineapple book, 50 Fabulous Pineapple Motifs. But I can't remember. It's either this one was in that book or it was in, I can't remember. These two, I'm getting confused, I think. So I can't remember exactly which one came out of which book. But this one turned out really, really pretty. And it's in this really dark purple. And as you can see, the different ones that I did, you have to improvise on how you grab up your doily to put on the ring. But I loved this one a lot, and it's my favorite color that I did it in, or one of my favorite colors, so I did hang it in the bedroom. And then these right here are actually my daughters, and they have them in their bedrooms. This one right here is hung up in Caitlin's room. This is Caitlin's. And I try to make them like a dream catcher. And she hangs this from her ceiling. So I did the beads with the feather hanging down from the side. And I made these a long time ago. Like probably 3 or 4 years ago. So that one is Kate's, and then I had to make Shaylee one. And I also made my niece. I made a bunch of these, and I can't remember. I gave them to, the girls gave them to one of their friends, and then I know I made my niece one too. But here's Shaylee's. And I'm holding it kind of crooked, but hers hangs on her wall, and it has the feathers on it too. So I can't remember, are they the same design? I think they're the same, aren't they? Yeah. So it's the same design, just different colors. And like I said, this, I hadn't been doing the rings very long, so you can see the, I try not to show the ring. Like I try to put more crochets now, but if you can see the ring, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal. And this is one that I recently made, and I tried to put it on this ring, and I thought that I needed a 12-inch ring, and the 12-inch was too big. And so I don't know, I think I might end up going back around this one and adding another row so that it will fit the 12-inch, because it just needs just a little bit more. And sometimes if that happens, you can just go back around and repeat the last row that you did. Sometimes, not always, but you can do something similar to that, and then it will work out. So here's that one, and this is how that I pin it. I use these like diaper pins, and like on this one it's very easy because you can see it has all these loops, and what I would do is I would single crochet around all of those loops. Is probably how that I will put it on. And then if I need some single crochets in between the loops, I might do that. It just really just depends. You just kind of play with it. And the way that I decide where that I'm going to put stitches is where I put these stitch markers. So usually I will have stitch markers all the way around. But I was just testing this one to see if it would fit on this ring. And as you can see, it's way too loose. So, I mean, it would probably work. I could probably make it work, and it would just be a little floppy. But this one's so pretty that I just really want to show those stitches, but I don't want to stretch it too much. And so I'm going to have to go back around and do something different here around. So that's my plan anyway with this one. I just haven't done that yet. So that is all the ones that I have here that I am aware of. I probably have more somewhere, but I just can't find them. I also have a rug in my floor too that I will pop in a picture of right here, because it's really hard to, you know, show you my floor right now. But yeah, that is also a doily. It was actually a rug pattern that was in a magazine for a doily rug. But you can take any rug, or you can take any doily pattern and turn it into a rug if you use, you know, 3 strands of yarn at once. But you just need to make sure that it has a lot of rows, because you want it to be a good size, right? So I hope that you enjoyed seeing my parade of doilies and hearing me chat about them. It's a lot of fun to talk about things that interest me. So this was a really fun part of a video to make. And thank you. Thank you for asking me those questions and for inspiring this segment of a video, because I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you all asking me questions. and commenting and all that stuff. Like it's a lot of fun to interact with you guys and get to know you, and to even just, like I said, gives me a video idea. And so that is so much fun. I do plan on continuing making the doilies and just filling this whole entire wall up. And after I fill that wall up, who knows where I'll go with them. I mean, I have more walls in here. I could just keep going all the way around the room. Who knows? But they are so much fun. It's very addicting. Because like I said, they're all so different, but yet they're similar, but they're different, and they are interesting to do. It's so fun to see the designs come out, and just to see the finished product. So until next time, guys, I'll see you in another video. Bye.